You're listening to the Rick Smith Show. We're here with Brett Pransky. He's a Democratic candidate for state rep in Ohio's 77th House District. Yeah. So now, how is this going to this victory by Balderson? Hopefully, only till November, because there will be a round two in November, which not all the resources are going to be going there, and hopefully they send him packing home. But how's it going to affect you?
Well, it actually is going to affect my race in a pretty interesting way. I mean, for example, Troy Balderson has now been declared the winner, which means the first thing he has to do is he has to vacate the seat he's currently sitting in.
Right.
So he's an Ohio State senator now. Now, the state senator that was in that seat before him is my opponent in a House race. So, and he got the question the other day whether or not he's going to jump out of the House into the Senate and take his old seat back, and he punted on the question. He basically didn't commit to serve if he was elected. So there's a pretty good chance that I'm, kind of running against a question mark. They don't really know. My opponent really hasn't committed to serve. And so, and if he can't do that, we kind of have to assume that he's not going to, which is kind of how I'm taking it. If he can't say out loud, if I'm elected, I will serve, which, by the way, if I'm elected, I will serve, then we kind of have to assume that he's not going to. Because he was so kind of standoffish. I think the closest he came to a commitment was saying that he had a responsibility to win in November. All right, but he didn't extend anything past that date. So I mean, it seemed a little odd. It seemed an odd way to commit, to a House seat. So I think it's pretty certain that he's going to take his old Senate seat back. And I'm running against, I guess, to use a baseball metaphor, a player to be named later.
Okay, well, let's hope no matter who it is, you send them packing into the unemployment line in November, because we need good, decent, honest people. And look, Ohio has had so many problems with corruption and all of the stuff. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but
Right.
there needs to be a big broom, and a bunch of people need to be swept to the curb.
Yeah, we need wholesale changes here in Ohio, and a lot of it. And again, we keep going back to gerrymandering, and it's because that is really the problem. What we have here in Ohio, and I'm going to quote a couple stats for you here. I believe it was either 2012 or 2014 in Ohio, we got something like 52 or 53% of the votes in the state, Democrats did, right? And we got 33% of the House seats, or at least the state House seats, 25% of the congressional seats, after winning over 50% of the vote. That's what gerrymandering does. So you have to win by 10 or win by 12 to get an even split.
Yep.
So it's really becoming difficult. The only problem is with that whole strategy now is we might actually win by 10 or win by 12 across the board in November, and then that'll upset the whole apple cart. We'll be able to come in and and put things right again.